Well, with that, it is time to move on to everyone's favorite topic of discussion. Is this the new best TUR in Dokkan? Why am I bringing this up? Because, well, Teq Ultimate Gohan is going to be dropping on Global in a day and a half, something like that. And so obviously, that brings back the topic, right? Is it cooler? Is it Gohan? Are we crazy for even? All right, so let's just dive in. We'll start with Talon. Why is it cooler and why is it not Gohan? Because, dude, this guy greatly raises attack and defense, causes immense damage. He's a category lead for Saviors, one of the greatest categories ever invented, and Hybrid Saiyans. And of course, his passive is just stupidly bonkers good. Attack and defense plus 140. Key plus 1 at the start of each turn up to 3. Guards against all attacks plus an additional key plus or attack plus 40. Then he transforms. He gets even better. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. This guy is crazy good. He's a solo just tank. He can take on everything. Why is Cooler better than Gohan?
Okay, so first off, two things I need to say first. A, when we're saying quote unquote the best guys, we do not mean that the other cards are trash or terrible. Okay, these new TURs that are coming out, these are easily in their own, you know, whatever you want to call it, Z category, Z TUR category, or you know, anything like that. All right, just always keep that in mind. Okay. Second is that, again, these are our own personal opinions. If you personally like one card over the other, that's totally fine. No one should be berating somebody for not liking the card that the same way they do. Okay. Everyone plays this games differently and everything like that. So just always keep that in mind, because I always see people making those comments and some discussions get pretty heated. So again, keep it civil and like we're going to do. All right. So anyway, why do I personally think that Cooler is better than Gohan, in my opinion? Okay. First off, Cooler allows for more diverse gameplay from my personal style of play. All right. I like being able to run different teams. I like being able to run different types of characters, both super and extreme. And Cooler supports one of the best teams in the entire game, which is the transformation boost category. All right. Now, it's not just the simple fact that he has the ability to support them. Okay. Everyone thinks that Cooler is a weak or something like that. Pre-transformation, this guy, when you have his links leveled up, is hitting 3 million attack stat. No problem. And I fail to see in a world in today where a 3 million attack stat is bad and his defense is still pretty solid. And by the way, as something like Super Battle Road, he is going to lower the enemy's attack, which is still really useful. Now, is he going to be tanking as good as Gohan? No, it's pretty clear that Gohan is the ultimate tank. That's not even a competition. Okay. But then on the other side of that, if I'm running something where I have a you know, maybe I got some super guys on one rotation and I've got SCR Cooler on the other rotation with physical Cooler, which by the way, he is going to begin his EZA sometime. And that's going to be a crazy ass rotation right there. Excuse my language. I'm sorry, but I had to say it. But when you transform Cooler, he's not weak. He auto crits against 70% of the entire game, just facing off against them and everything like that. So if you transform him, he's stacking attack and he's hitting really well. Oh, and not to mention, he gets auto additional and that can become a super attack. And if you throw some additionals into him, that can be triple super attacks right there. And the dude does some amazing stuff. All right. So again, Gohan is a super awesome card. If you need Gohan just to be your one-man army and everything like that, he's the man for the job. He's the one you summon for. Plus, not to mention that Majin Buu Saga is an amazing category now, obviously with the new LRs and everything like that. So if you need Gohan for that, then yeah, obviously I'm going to say go for Gohan for you. But for me personally, I'm still saying that Cooler is because he just does more than, hey, big guy does attack and defense, and that's it. Not to mention, Saviors is kind of an amp category. So it is what it is. But anyway, that's why I personally say that. So let me hear your thoughts, guys. Why do you think either Gohan or Cooler?
I think Talon has some strong feelings about this, guys.
I've made some videos on it and everything. You know, I've seen the same old comments over and over again. So, you know.
Yeah, I completely, respect and see everything that Talon just said. And I think he's right. Everybody has different criteria for what they value in a unit, right? So if someone values more support or just like the ability to make the rest of the team better, then I think Cooler is the clear-cut choice. But if for someone else, for their criteria for best TUR, it's just like best solo performer, best one-man show, then I would say it's Gohan, right? Like that attack and defense, greatly raising every single turn, guarding against all attacks, getting a ton of attack on his passive, all that stuff. Like he's just insane. And you know, defensively, like Cooler, I mean, it's not even close between Cooler and Gohan, right? Like Cooler at the end of LGE is still taking like 40k or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but he takes a ton of damage from the harder event, so he could still potentially get you killed. Whereas Gohan, after a couple supers, this dude is just untouchable, right? Like he's not taking any damage no matter what. So to me, I think Gohan's the best TUR, or I don't know. There's another unit. I don't want to jump the gun here, but there's another unit we're going to talk about later that I think has a very strong case. But I think Gohan is better than Cooler for that reason. But of course, like I said, it's different criteria, different things people value, right? So yeah, I think he's insane.
Would you say that a banner, a unit's placement on a banner along with the supporting cast would add to its value? Masting, I think you were about to chime in. Feel free to continue on that with that topic or move on with this one.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the main thing comes down to everybody's own subjective interpretation of what best unit means. Because obviously, like Talon said, one of the big like arguments for Cooler is how well he fits into other teams and how he like fits with the units around him. Whereas other people will just, like Tiger was saying, they consider the best unit to be the unit's solo performance. So if you just throw him on a team under his best lead with some supports on the rotation, like who has the better attack and defense?
Yeah,
so,
it just depends on your personal
so if you're if you take it one way, then obviously you're going to think it's one. If you take it another way, you're going to think it's another. I think it's hard to like straight up definitively say. I do lean a little bit more towards Gohan, even though I love Cooler. Cooler's one of my favorite units in the game, probably. But it was something that I said to Sunblade, who unfortunately is not here today. But when we were talking yesterday about UI Goku, I said the same thing. I'll say the same thing about Cooler as I say about STR UI Goku. And Tiger mentioned it in some of the harder, longer form events. For me personally, I can't call a unit the best unit in the game if they can get you killed in one turn from full health. And Cooler can get you killed from full health in one turn if he's the one that takes a super. Whereas Gohan won't do that. So obviously, Cooler has his advantages. Like I said already, being diplomatic, I love Cooler. I went ham to make sure I got him when he came to Global. But yeah, I do think that for me, Gohan ticks more of those boxes of what I consider to be the best unit in the game. So, well, best TUR, obviously. But
Gail, before we dive into the supporting cast on this banner, you, as the connoisseur of all things gacha, would you summon for this banner solely for Gohan?
Not necessarily. Well, it depends, because like you mentioned, I think it really does depend on the banner as well. Of course, I think if I recall correctly from Japan, it featured stuff like Bardock and whatnot. I think Fizz Piccolo was in there, Kid Goku, Metal Cooler, and I might be forgetting one more off the top of my head, but it's not a bad banner to say the least.
Ultimate Gohan.
There you go. That's the one I forgot. Okay, never mind. Ignore him. Everybody forgets him anyways. It's fine. He's the forgotten Ultimate Gohan. But I think for a banner, obviously, I'm expecting Bardock to get replaced by In Future Gohan. Obviously, considering we just got Bardock, In Future Gohan's not come back in a while.
Yeah, 100%.
That's my prediction. We'll see if it happens. In that sense, of course, I know not a lot of people summon for In Future Gohan because at the time people were either saving for or either spent everything on Cooler or were saving up for 5-year. So it's a good time to pick up In Future Gohan. In terms of it, if it's worth summoning, it's hard to say because, as mentioned, I think I personally feel like I think Gohan is the best TUR in the game, so it's hard not to summon for him. But red coins exist in the game, so it's like you can easily just avoid this banner because you've got LR Evoken coming, you've got Jiren coming, you've got Gotenks and Buu coming, slightly better value banners in the future. So, in my opinion, I can see why it can be a skip for a lot of people, but personally, I'll probably summon because it's Gohan and it's also the best card in the game for me personally.
Leaning more into the banner itself. So we still don't know what's going to be showing up on the banner as far as Global's concerned. There's obviously probably going to be some changes. But